Hey there, and thanks once again for joining me on my journey through the Bible. Today we are going to jump into Joshua chapter 19 through 21, and then after I do this reading, we are going to be doing the last reading of the book of Joshua. So here we go with Joshua chapter 19 and reading through chapter 21. The second lot came out for Simeon, for the tribe of his descendants by their clans, but their inheritance was within the portion of Judah's descendants. Their inheritance included Beersheba, or Sheba, Molada, Hazar Shaul, Bala, Ezem, Eltolad, Bethul, Hormah, Ziklag, Beth Maccaboth, Hazar Susha, Beth Lebaoth, and Sharuhin, 13 cities with their villages. Ain, Rimmon, Ether, and Ashan, 4 cities with their villages, and all the villages surrounding these cities as far as Baloth Bear, Ramah of the south. This was the inheritance of the tribe of Simeon's descendants by their clans. The inheritance of Simeon's descendants was within the territory of Judah's descendants, because the share for Judah's descendants was too large for them. So Simeon's descendants received an inheritance within Judah's portion. The third lot came up for Zebulun's descendants by their clans. The territory of their inheritance stretched as far as Sarid. Their border went up westward to Maralah, reached Debesheth, and met the brook east of Jokneam. From Sarid, it turned eastward toward the sunrise along the border of Chisloth Tabor, went to Deborath, and went up to Japhia. From there, it went east toward the sunrise to Gath Hepher and to Eth Kazin. It extended to Rimmon, curving around to Neha. The border then circled around Neha in the north to Hinanoth and ended at the valley of Ifta El, along with Katath, Nahala, Shimron, Idala, and Bethlehem, 12 cities with their villages. This was the inheritance of Zebulun's descendants by their clans, these cities with their villages. The fourth lot came out for the tribe of Issachar's descendants by their clans. Their territory went to Jezreel and included Cheseloth, Shunem, Hapharaim, Shion, Anaharoth, Rabith, Kishion, Ebez, Remeth, En Ganim, En Hadah, Beth Pazez. End of the sentence. The border reached Tabor, Shahazuma, and Beth Shemesh, and ended at the Jordan, 16 cities with their villages. This was the inheritance of the tribe of Issachar's descendants by their clans, the cities with their villages. The fifth lot came out for the tribe of Asher's descendants by their clans. Their boundary included Helkoth, Hali, Betin, Akshaph, Alamelech, Amad, and Mishal, and reached westward to Carmel and Sheor Libnath. It turned eastward to Beth Dagon, past Zebulun and the valley of Ifta-el, toward Beth Emek and Neiel, and went north to Kabul, Ebron, Rehob, Hemon, and Kanah, as far as Great Sidon. The boundary then turned to Ramah as far as the fortified city of Tyre. It turned back to Hashah and ended at the sea, including Mahalab, Akzib, Umah, Afik, and Rahab, 21 cities with their villages. This was the inheritance of the tribe of Asher's descendants by their clans, these cities with their villages. The sixth lot came out for Naphtali's descendants by their clans. Their boundary went from Heliph and from the oak of Zananim, including Adami, Nekeb, and Javneel, as far as Lakum, and ended at the Jordan. To the west, the boundary turned to Aznoth Tabor, and went from there to Hukok, reaching Zebulun to the south, Asher to the west, and Judah at the Jordan on the east. The fortified cities were Ziddim, Zer, Hamath, Rakath, Chinnereth, Adamah, Ramah, Hazor, Kadesh, Edrei, En-Hazor, Iran, Migdal El, Horem, Beth Anath, and Beth Shemesh, 19 cities with their villages. This was the inheritance of the tribe of Naphtali's descendants by their clans, the cities with their villages. The seventh lot came out for the Danite tribe and its clans. The territory of their inheritance included Zorah, Eshtaol, Ir-Shemesh, Shalabin, Aihalan, Ithlah, Elon, Timnah, Ekron, Eltekeh, Gibbethon, Balath, Jehud, Bnei Barak, Gath-Rimmon, Me-Jarkon, and Rakan, with the territory facing Joppa. When the territory of the Danites slipped out of their control, they went up and fought against Lashem, captured it, and struck it down with the sword. So they took possession of it, lived there, and renamed Lashem after their ancestor Dan. This was the inheritance of the Danite tribe by its clans, these cities with their villages. When they had finished distributing the land into its territories, the Israelites gave Joshua, son of Nun, an inheritance among them. By the Lord's command, they gave him the city Timnath-Serah in the hill country of Ephraim, which he requested. He built the city and lived in it. These were the portions that Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the heads of the families distributed to the Israelite tribes by lot at Shiloh, in the Lord's presence at the entrance to the tent of meeting. So they finished dividing up the land. Chapter 20. Then the Lord spoke to Joshua, "Tell the Israelites, select your cities of refuge, as I instructed you through Moses, so that a person who kills someone unintentionally or accidentally may flee there. These will be your refuge from the avenger of blood. When someone flees to one of these cities, stands at the entrance of the city gate, and states his case before the elders of that city, they are to bring him into the city and give him a place to live among them. And if the avenger of blood pursues him, they must not hand the one who committed manslaughter over to him, for he killed his neighbor accidentally and did not hate him beforehand. He is to stay in that city until he stands trial before the assembly, and until the death of the high priest serving at that time. Then the one who committed manslaughter may return home to his own city from which he fled." So they designated Kadesh in the hill country of Naphtali in Galilee, Shechem in the hill country of Ephraim, and Kiriath Arabah, that is Hebron, in the hill country of Judah. Across the Jordan, east of Jericho, they selected Bezer on the wilderness plateau from Reuben's tribe, Ramoth in Gilead from Gab's tribe, and Golan in Bashan from Manasseh's tribe. These are the cities appointed for all the Israelites and foreigners among them, so that anyone who kills a person unintentionally may flee there and not die at the hand of the avenger of blood until he stands before the assembly. Chapter 21. The heads of the Levite families approached Eleazar the priest, Joshua son of Nun, and the heads of the families of the Israelite tribes. At Shiloh on the land of Canaan, they told them, "The Lord commanded through Moses that we be given cities to live in, with their pasture lands for our livestock." So the Israelites, by the Lord's command, gave the Levites these cities with their pasture lands from their inheritance. The lot came out for the Kohathite clans. The Levites, who were the descendants of Aaron, the priests, received 13 cities by lot from the tribes of Judah, Simeon, and Benjamin. The remaining descendants of Kohath received 10 cities by lot from the clans of the tribes of Ephraim, Dan, and half the tribe of Manasseh. Gershon's descendants received 13 cities by lot from the clans of the tribes of Issachar, Asher, Naphtali, and half the tribe of Manasseh in Bashan. Merari's descendants received 12 cities for their clans from the tribes of Reuben, Gad, and Zebulun. The Israelites gave these cities with their pasture lands around them to the Levites by lot, as the Lord commanded through Moses. The Israelites gave these cities by name from the tribes of the descendants of Judah and Simeon to the descendants of Aaron from the Kohathite clans of the Levites, because they received the first lot. They gave them Kiriath Arabah, that is Hebron, with its surrounding pasture lands in the hill country of Judah. Arba is the father of Anak. But they gave the fields and villages of the city to Caleb, son of Jephunneh, as his possession. They gave to the descendants of Aaron the priest Hebron, the city of refuge for the one who commits manslaughter, with its pasture lands. Libnah with its pasture lands. Jattir with its pasture lands. Eshtemoa with its pasture lands. Holon with its pasture lands. Debir with its pasture lands. And Ain with its pasture lands. Judah with its pasture lands, and Beth Shemesh with its pasture lands. 9 cities from these 2 tribes. From the tribe of Benjamin they gave Gibeon with its pasture lands, Geba with its pasture lands, Ananoth with its pasture lands, and Almon with its pasture lands. 4 cities. All 13 cities with their pasture lands were for the priests, the descendants of Aaron. The allotted cities to the remaining clans of Kohath's descendants, who were Levites, came from the tribe of Ephraim. The Israelites gave them Shechem, the city of refuge for the one who commits manslaughter, with its pasture lands in the hill country of Ephraim, Gezer with its pasture lands, Kibzaim with its pasture lands, and Beth Horon with its pasture lands. 4 cities. For the tribe of Dan, they gave Elteke with its pasture lands, Gibbethon with its pasture lands, Halon with its pasture lands, and Gath-Rimmon with its pasture lands. 4 cities. From half the tribe of Manasseh they gave Tanakh with its pasture lands, and Gath-Rimmon with its pasture lands. 2 cities. All 10 cities with their pasture lands were for the clans of Kohath's other descendants. From half the tribe of Manasseh they gave the descendants of Gershon, who were one of the Levite clans. Golan, the city of refuge for the one who commits manslaughter, with its pasture lands in Bashan, and Beshiterah with its pasture lands. 2 cities. From the tribe of Asher, they gave Mishal with its pasture lands, Abdon with its pasture lands, Helkath with its pasture lands, and Rehob with its pasture lands. 4 cities. And from the tribe of Naphtali, they gave Kadesh in Galilee, the city of refuge for the one who commits manslaughter, with its pasture lands, Hamath Dor with its pasture lands, and Kartan with its pasture lands. 3 cities. All 13 cities with their pasture lands were for the Gershonites by their clans. From the tribe of Zebulun, they gave to the clans of the descendants of Merari, who were the remaining Levites, Jokneam with its pasture lands, Kartah with its pasture lands, Dimnah with its pasture lands, and Nahalal with its pasture lands. 4 cities. From the tribe of Reuben, they gave Bezir with its pasture lands, Jahaz with its pasture lands, Kedemoth with its pasture lands, and Mephath, with its pasture lands. 4 cities. From the tribe of Gad, they gave Ramoth in Gilead, the city of refuge for the one who commits manslaughter, with its pasture lands, Mahanaim with its pasture lands, Heshbon with its pasture lands, and Jazer with its pasture lands. 4 cities in all. All 12 cities were allotted to the clans of Merari's descendants, the remaining Levite clans. Within the Israelite possession, there were 48 cities in all with their pasture lands for the Levites. Each of these cities had its own surrounding pasture lands. This was true for all the cities. So the Lord gave Israel all the land he had sworn to give their fathers, and they took possession of it and settled there. The Lord gave them rest on every side according to all he had sworn to their fathers. None of their enemies were able to stand against them, for the Lord handed over all their enemies to them. None of the good promises the Lord had made to the house of Israel failed. Everything was fulfilled.